up, Tibbers? Bunny here, and welcome back to GeoFlight Simulator. So this week, I'm going to be talking about the Evektor Sportstar. So this is the Sportstar right here. It is a small propeller-powered, low-performance aircraft that's basically good for getting you from point A to point B. I mean, you can do some stunts in it, which I will show in a few minutes. But otherwise, it's not your barnstorming go-to aircraft. Now, interestingly, according to the GeoFS wiki, this was the first aircraft that Xavier Tassin, the developer of GeoFlight Simulator, added to this game. In fact, the Sportstar was subject of another simulator that Xavier had worked on prior to GeoFS. So in the game itself, this plane does not have too much special with it other than being the first aircraft. Like this skin that you see here, which of course is completely backwards, your eyes are not deceiving you. This number here, for example, is completely backwards. This is the only livery that this Sportstar has. It also has no special animations to them. Like if I press the X button, nothing happens. If I press the F button, nothing happens, except I paid respect to this thing. No, nothing happens. And if I go into the cockpit view, so this is what the cockpit looks like. Now you notice that the joystick and the seats are a little bit dark unless you look directly down at them. But they don't work either. So I'm pitching back right now, this joystick ought to be moving. I'm pitching forward now, the joystick still isn't moving. Roll left, roll right, nothing happens. And I don't know how the heck you're supposed to use the rudders because there are no pedals. This airspeed and altimeter, neither of those gauges work. This cockpit is entirely for show. Is this a camera or something? Looks like a GoPro maybe? No, I'm not sure. So yeah, this is what the cockpit looks like. And yeah, so the skin mesh appears kind of dark in that view. Now, this aircraft has one extra view, wheels. Basically, you get a nice view of the airplane's undercarriage. Now, you cannot click and drag to change your camera's orientation at all. This thing is locked on to whatever orientation this plane is taking. Okay, so that covers everything about the aircraft's appearance. Now before I take off, let me just show you what this vehicle sounds like, and then I will immediately proceed with how to fly this thing. So let me go ahead and start the engine, and you can get an idea as to what this babe sounds like. Alright, and she's ready to roll. So I'm going to release the parking brake, I'm going to throttle up, and you can hear what the engine sounds like going up to max power, and then I will tell you how to take off. Okay, so you have to roll to about between 50 and 60 knots, so right here, and now you can pull back, and there you go. You are flying the Evektor Sportstar. That's simple enough. And to fly around, you can, okay, so rolling, if I apply maximum rolling authority, this thing does not roll very quickly at all. So it makes doing barrel rolls hard, if not even an impossibility. Actually, I know I can do a barrel roll. I just can't do it right now because I'm too low to the ground to try that. Believe me, if I tried it right now, I would just go crashing lid first into the ground and I would die, and we don't want that. So Actually, I believe you could do a loop-de-loop in this aircraft, so let me go ahead and try it. Yep, yep, yep. Here we go. Here we go. And we're good. Okay, okay, let's level off now. So, you can do a loop-de-loop in this thing. Uh, you can do sharp banking where you are going, at that high angle, but you know what? That doesn't seem to really be a good idea. Now I'm flying much, much too low. Whoa! Okay. Let's not scare these people here in Gimli? I don't know how you pronounce it. But basically, right now I am flying above the shores of Lake Winnipeg in Canada. Manitoba, I believe, is the province. So anyway, if I try to maintain level flight, you will see the needle on the speedometer here just kind of sort of stationary here at around 120 knots. This is pretty much your cruise speed for this aircraft. And I even believe that is right around your top speed as well. Of course, you can achieve higher than intended velocity if you go nose down. But that is obviously not a recommended thing that you do. Also, if you pitch the nose up too high, the airplane will be able to go up for a while, but like I'm probably 30 degrees pitched up, but I am going to stall in a moment. In fact, I'm sure I'm about to get the stall alarm. Maybe not, maybe not. Okay, so, but anyway, yeah. Uh, going like on the vertical is not an option in this aircraft. Like I said, it is a tad too low performance. Which I don't know if that is actually a part of what the Sportstar was designed for, or I don't know. When I think Sportstar, I'm thinking this aircraft ought to be powerful enough so that I could actually, I don't know, maybe do some simple stunts like that, like air sports, that kind of stuff. But yeah, how about landing this aircraft? Well, what you do is I'm going to kill the throttle, and I'm actually a little too high right now. But basically, I would suggest having your speed below 80 knots when you're getting ready to land. Like, right now I have my engine on idle because otherwise there's too much power going into the plane. And yeah, it's gonna... But I mean, you can pretty much land at any speed in this aircraft, but slower is usually better. So anyway, I would recommend speeds below 80 knots for landing. Now this aircraft is actually pretty easy to land, as long as you don't, like land super hard nose gear first. You can settle this thing down pretty easily. It won't rebound. So anyway, I'm about to land on the runway. Of course, I'm gonna try for this big landing target here, 1,000 feet away from the end. But anyway, let me try it. Yeah, there you go. That was not a super soft landing, but as you can see, the aircraft barely rebounded at all, worth an extra flight. Its brakes, as you can see, its stopping deceleration is not very fast. However, when you think about it, if you land slow enough, you can actually land within 1,000 feet. In fact, you can take off within 1,000 feet as well. This aircraft is very STOL. which is short for short takeoff and landing. Actually, slow takeoff and landing, I think. So how about I go over to the USS John C. Stennis. This is GeoFlight Simulator's aircraft carrier. And I'm going to bring the wind down. And let's see. Can I perform a landing on this aircraft carrier? Well, one thing that you need to know if you're going to try landing on super short runways is that you need to land as early as possible, as slow as possible, and do everything within your power to come to a complete stop. That's the plan, at least. Is that something that I can actually accomplish on the aircraft carrier? I know I tend to get a little squirrely sometimes when trying to land on these short runways. But you know what? Carrier landings? Perfect way to practice your landing proficiency. My golly. Okay, I'm going slower now than I was when I landed on the runway at Winnipeg. I also have my parking brakes engaged right now, so that as soon as this thing hits the deck, it will start stopping. Okay, there we go. Oh, and that was a butter landing as well. So, okay, it's about to stop. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and release the parking brake, and there we go. With like, what would I say, 300 feet of deck remaining, I was able to successfully land the Evektor Sportstar. So there you go. You know, I just thought of something that tickles me. The catapults there. They're capable of taking you from like 0 to about 160 knots. But the funny thing is that this aircraft is not designed to go 160 knots. Like I said earlier, its top speed is maybe about 120. But actually, let me go ahead and let's actually get ourselves realigned, and let's go for a takeoff from this carrier. And yes, I only have about, I'd say, 500 feet of runway at this point, 600 feet, 500, 400, 300. But anyway, I'm about to take off, and okay, there you go, with like 20 feet of deck to spare, I'm able to take off in the aircraft carrier. Now, I better bring my nose down because it's otherwise a little too high. But there you go. This thing is capable of landing on an aircraft carrier. And this is without winds at all. You do not see the little gauge on the right-hand side telling you your wind direction and speed. That's because I turned winds completely off for this demonstration. Now, with other aircraft, if I'm not able to stop within the deck's length using no winds, I would kick the wind speed up to about 30 knots, basically to simulate trying to land on a moving aircraft carrier. But that is not necessary since I was able to successfully land this aircraft. And actually, I think that just about covers everything for the Evektor Sportstar. So I'm going to go ahead and bring an end to this video. So next week, I'm going to be covering the Piper Cub. It is the first plane that you will spawn into when you load up GeoFlight Simulator for the first time. But I'll go into further discussion then. But anyway, that concludes this week's video. I'm Spacebun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you all next week. Sierra Bravo 717 checking out.